A central tenet of how we move is that all movement stems or starts from the core. The core area, you could think of it as coordinating the movement. And the reason that is that one, from a very physics type of perspective, the core is where our center of mass or our base of support is at. So on yourself, here's my belly button. It's about 1 inch below my belly button is where our center of mass or our base of support is. And being connected to your center of your mass or your base of support is being more centered or connected to the ground, and that's going to help with your stability of movements. Another reason is that the core area directs the position and function of the spine. If you look at the human spine, it has this sinusoidal or wave-like pattern. The reason that we have that is that that's the springiest and it's the most resilient movement of the spine, where we can move in all different directions and then return back to proper form. If, let's say, skeleton here is we lose curve, then that tips the whole rest of the spine forward, and so our center of mass is falling forward and we're having to use a lot of muscles just to stabilize our body then. When you have the nice natural lumbar curve, it positions everything else up on top of the body. Another interesting feature of the spine is that from the cervical vertebrae all the way down, these are the smallest vertebrae, and then almost like a pyramid, the vertebrae naturally get bigger as they widen. So you could picture a long pyramid where we have more base of support or more stability from this area, because literally the bones start to get bigger, and then we have less motion here relatively, and then we have more motion up at top because of how they're shaped. But the core is the coordinating aspect of all the movements of the body. If I drop here, my middle back falls, and then my head has to decide whether or not to go forward, which would put me down, or tip forward there, which I'll lose rotation in my neck. So everything is connected. When I'm tall through here, core kind of drawn in, middle back stacked, then I have a lot of rotation through my middle back. I have full rotation through my neck. I have the ability to move my arm through all directions. If I tip that way, I lose a lot of mobility. If I overarch, I still have the shoulder motion, but I'm locking out my middle back, so I can't use my shoulder blades as well. The same principles that I'm talking about in the upper body apply to how movement in the lower body works. Think about the core. Everything needs to root back to the core. So when I'm doing chest pressing type of movements, I'm drawing in and holding the core position strong so that I'm not over cheating through my back. If I am doing a pulling type of movement, I'll naturally get some arch through the back, but I'm still connected to here to make sure that those forces are happening evenly. These principles apply all throughout the body, and with every movement, we need to draw it back to our center base of support, because that's where we're going to be the strongest from.